Hey guys, welcome to this video on the reciprocal trig functions. So we know that a reciprocal is where we take something and we just flip it. And so, for instance, sine x by itself is sine x on 1. And so if we're going to perform the reciprocal of it, that goes to 1 on sine x. Now this has a special name. We call 1 on sine x, we call that cosec of x. All right. 1 on cos x we call sec of x, and 1 on tan x we call cot of x. And another way to express 1 on tan x is also cos x on sine x, because tan x by itself is sine x on cos x, and when we evaluate that it simplifies to cos x on sine x. So these are the reciprocal trig functions. We've got 3 of them. And we're just going to be applying some stuff that we've done before in terms of these reciprocal trig functions. So here we start. Without a calculator, find the value of cotangent of pi on 6. So we're going to need our unit circles here. So if we've got tan of pi on 6, all right, we're going, well, what is the value of tan of pi on 6? Maybe you don't have the tan values written on your unit circle, but I know that that sine of pi on 6 is half, and cos of pi on 6 is root 3 on 2. And so then I can evaluate this. And so I've got tan of pi on 6 is 1 on root 3. Now cotangent, or cot of x, is 1 on tan x. So then I'm going to do 1 divided by the value of tan x. 1 divided by 1 on root 3. And that's where we get our answer to this question. Cotangent of pi on 6 is just the square root of 3. Okay, in the next example, we have cos x is 1 on 5, and we need to find all other 5 ratios. So that means we need to find sine x and tan x, okay? And then once we've got sine, cos, and tan, we can find all 3 reciprocal ratios. So the easiest process is the one we're pretty familiar with, that we were doing a bit last semester. We draw the right-angled triangle, okay? Now we've got cos is 1 on 5. 1 on 5, now cos is A on H. Okay, so if we're going to label the triangle, here's the adjacent side, 1. Here's the hypotenuse, 5. We're going to use Pythag to find the opposite side. So I'm starting with O squared plus 1 squared is 5 squared. Rearranging that, I've got O is plus or minus the square root of 24. Okay, now in this region on the unit circle, okay, here it is here, between pi and 3 pi and 2. Both sine and cos are negative, so here's a typo, that should say minus 1 on 5. So sine is negative, cos is negative, tan is positive. Okay, so we've got those, the 3 we're familiar with, and then cosec of x, okay, cosec of x is, cosecant of x is 1 on sine x. So what we're going to do there then is we're going to do 1 divided by minus 24 on root 5. So because it's a positive divided by a negative, it retains the negative, and we're performing the reciprocal of it, aren't we? So it flips this, okay? The same with sec of x. All right, so that goes from 1 on 5. The reciprocal of 1 on 5 is 5. Now that should be negative as well, because cos is negative in that region. And then the last one, cotangent, tan is O on A, so it's 24 on 1, and then we're performing the reciprocal of that. So that's just a brief introduction to the reciprocal trigonometric functions. And then for some of the later questions, you need to have a read of this example. Rather than me going through it, I think it's better to have a read of how they generate the graph. We can use our calculator to help us out a bit as well. So good luck with them.